Hey everyone, my name is Chris. As requested, I'm doing Inside My Mind series, and we will start off with light. I'm gonna explain my thought process and decision making in real life time. Today I'm playing with Treason and Nevermore, and both of them are one of the best players in Europe on their respected roles. When you are playing light and coming up for the first vault, it's very important to pace it to the cash out as fast as possible if your opponents allow you to do so, meaning that you place a TP on the vault and then you just run straight to the vault, or to the cash out, I mean. In this case, we were greeted with two teams. On God's behalf is also a top tier player, and they are playing triple medium for some reason. So we are starting from above, I am throwing glitch with my right click, and we are brawling. Notice how I am constantly playing at an off angle and patiently waiting for my teammates to go in first. Here is a little trick you can do with ladder to climb it faster. You can do it on Soul, you can do it on Monaco, and this is really nice. So as you can see, I let go of the vault, I let my enemies take it and bring it to the cash out, and slowly turning around to get the res on my teammates. It's very important to keep their coins because, you know, stuff happens. For some unfortunate reason, the guys on the pink team decided to fully commit and come back for us, even though they already have the cash out running. Apparently, the two teams are fighting at Vault 2, so it was kind of free for them. Here we are going for an off angle. I'm constantly trying to find ways to apply pressure from a different angle, because if you would look at the nature of a light class, you'll quickly realize that your abilities don't quite work when there is a shield in front of you, and they don't quite work if people are looking at you because of RPGs, mines, scars, shotguns, and all of that is just very terrible. So as you can see, we are going for the cash. I'm pre-placing the teleport on the top. Treason is taking the cash out. It's not his job, but he just feels very confident. Being one of the best players in the game, he kind of does not care playing ranked. Okay, right here we found a stun gun on a person, and notice how I'm constantly playing around natural cover. It's very important to not die in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be a lot more difficult for your medium to res you. It's going to be a lot more difficult for your medium to actually come and heal you. And all of that is just terrible. So we got a kill. I have no idea how many players are left alive. I'm watching it without the sound, so I assume that we fully wiped them and they will have another chance. Notice what's happening on the map right now, where both cash outs are in, but our cash out is so much faster. Right here, I thought that pink team is not gonna commit for our cash out and they're just gonna third party B, so I'm going back. There is apparently a bug with a gateway where you literally have infinite range on it, meaning that you will be able to go on the other side of the map and quickly cook it. Alright, our cash out is gonna be cashed in, and I'm making a huge mistake. It's very important to wait for your teammates. I TP'd them in, but unfortunately, yeah, the TP was kind of clunky, and then the Treason didn't take it. He went for like the route himself, and it just becomes very ugly. As a light player, you want to approach from the top. Usually, you want to scout, you want to get information, and you want to wait for opponents to actually go in so you can third party them. Instead, I went in like an idiot and completely died for nothing. As you can see, we still have time for B, but the proper play right now would be to just go 3 and pace the cash out as fast as possible. It's interesting how in the current state of the game, the meta transformed into a lot of mediums, not a lot of heavy, and almost no lights. So light class feels very nice, and at the same time pretty terrible. So right here we are making a macro mistake. You should never do that in your game. Typically you just want to go for cash out into vault, into cash out into vault, and when you have 30,000 on hand, you will be able to cook up the team that you don't like. You can grieve them, and I will explain how to do that. So I'm constantly taking an off angle, I'm playing closer to my medium so he can always heal me, and we are landing some insane shots onto our enemies. But this is pretty pointless because the pink team that we just wiped, or almost wiped, has $2,000, and it doesn't matter if we kill them or not. It's just pointless. We are wasting time on 3. Honestly, we are fighting against against a good team. I just called out that we go in and cook the on God's behalf team. that was kind of an ego play, but yeah, this fight is terrible simply because I lost my position of power on high ground and I'm playing with my team, meaning that every single direction of line of sight is gonna be aimed at me, meaning that I'm gonna be cooked in the head sooner or later. Luckily, Treason was able to clutch this, or no. Like, in this situation, notice that we would have already been at B and we would be the first team to cash in the cash. We would get 1000 from tapping the vault, we would get 2000 from placing it in, and we would not wipe here, which would be insane and amazing. This was such a terrible fight. Nevermore was there to support my heavy player, and it all turned out to be really, really well. So next time you would have the burning desire to go and grief other team, please don't. Just go for the vault and try to fight for something. So as you can see right here, we almost risked losing like $5,000, and we just wasted so much freaking time. The lobby is super staggered, meaning that every single team is gonna end up at B site right now, or excuse me, D cash out, right? So I'm pre-throwing glitch, and we are slowly scouting. It's very important not to drop in like idiots there. You want to look at top, you want to see how many players are alive, you want to check what's happening here and there. I said I'm approaching from this side. It's really, really dangerous what I'm doing, but I'm still going for it. Finding off angles, trying to approach at the same time, but from a different angle is exactly how you should play light. Again, going for the same target, but at the different angle is how you do it. Right here we are selling our heavy player simply because he made a mistake. I'm just playing my absolute life. I am not there to die because we have something to lose, and I'm gonna sell my medium player as soon as he's gonna be dead. Right here I'm trying to stay alive, because if we both wipe, this is gonna be a pretty sketchy situation. We are at the first place at the moment. After they will cash it in, we're gonna be second. But if we wipe, we are risking becoming below the qualification line. So the proper play right here would be to tap 4, bring it to C, and then fight for D. So by the time we ended up fighting for D, not only it would have elevated the pressure, but we would be able to come back to cash out C and cook up together. You have to understand that we are playing the way we are playing simply because my team is absolutely not afraid of losing. My team is absolutely not afraid of dying. A ranked system is utterly terrible, and we are here just to get some kills. This is not the proper way to play the game. It only works because 3 of us are truly extraordinary players with a lot of experience, and we are playing against players that are significantly lower skill level than us. Right here, again, I am approaching from the same angle, we are glitching. The triple medium team cannot do pretty much anything against a good heavy medium light team, simply because the glitch grenades are present, and yeah, there is just nothing to do. They are being completely cooked in the head. Heavy completely counters them with shotgun. I am cleaning them up with glitches, and my medium can also shoot back. He can also sustain, and it is just very, very ugly. Here I'm going for the teleporter. Since it has, or am I not going for the teleporter? It doesn't matter. Since it has the like absolute ultimate range, meaning that you can go for the other side of the map, I made a call to my heavy player to TP him on top of the enemies. Right here I don't see anyone, so we are just taking the position of power on top and slowly trying to pick off enemies. I made a call to grief orange team simply because they are the best, and if possible we would want to prioritize shooting them instead of prioritizing shooting someone else. Here I I would be able to take Treason, I think. I would be able to yoink him. I'm looking. It seems very terrible, and I really don't want to die for it. So I'm kind of contemplating going in and going out. Here we are cooking enemies. It's important to play your life on light, because even if your team dies, you have to be the last person to die, you have to be the last person to engage, and then you have to be the last person to wipe on your team, right? So it is absolutely your responsibility. Notice how, even though my teammate is dead, I'm still bringing a lot of value, chaos, and distraction to the table just by off-angling, just by like being safe in a sense, and just poking enemies from distance while they are cooking themselves. So here, taking the trophy, raising my heavy player, and we are looking at the tab. I am seeing what team I should grieve. I'm calling that. Although there is pretty much nothing to grieve, right? So pink is coming through, we'll be able to cook them. Even though you cook the team that you wanna grieve, you will still be able to defend the cash out from other teams. Overall, it was a very comfortable game. It's very important to look at the team compositions way before you start the game, because there is gonna be a different playstyle when you are playing double heavy medium against, or when you're playing against heavy medium light, or when you're playing against triple light. All of that is gonna drastically change the way you are approaching light. So right here, again, instead of pacing the cash out fast, I am not in time there, so we have to fight. We are forced to fight. If your enemies are giving you the cash out for free, you just go in, you tap it, you place the teleport, and you run to the first cash out. Here we are taking a position of power on top. This is a beautiful play by Treason, and we are slowly approaching our enemies. They have absolute zero chance because we are above them, and fundamentally it's a lot easier to approach from the high ground. Right here I'm making a mistake and kinda being slow, in a sense that I already need to paste the cash out into the cache, or excuse me, paste the vault into the cache out, because the ping is already doing that and we want to be as fast as possible. But here I'm pre-placing the TP for my teammate Nevermore, and we are gonna cook up the cache out. Right, boom. Nice. So when you are defending a cash out like this, it's important to look for gas barrels. It's important to... Never mind, Treason just made a call to go to another cash out. This is not a proper play. This is not how you would play in Screams. That's not how you would certainly play if you are lower skill level than that. But we are still going for it. We are placing the cash out and risking it all to get more money as a result. I'm taking the position of power. It's important to scout first. It's important to see where opponents are going. Pretty decent spray down onto a person, and we are getting closer. You have to understand that every single team pretty much is gonna be on this cash out, meaning that you would need to be extremely careful with approaching it. You want to quickly pick off enemies one by one, instead of going in like an idiot in the middle of every team just to get poked out. Right here, again, taking the position of power at the top, slowly cooking my enemies, letting my heavy go first, and then following him up on that. A proper play right here would be to pad above, break a hole, and look at enemies. Okay, so the cash out is not dropped. We see that they are playing in this room. I think I missed the glitch, and here I am faking the steal just to bait out players. Very good bubble from my heavy player. I'm running away a little bit, looking for a glitch perhaps. Bursting bubble, very important. The first priority as a light player is to burst bubble, because your heavy RPG, your heavy bubble does not work through enemy bubble. So you want to be very careful with that. As you can see, one team is taking our cash out, but it's absolutely not a problem. Here, me and Treason are ending up defending the cash out. I'm pre-throwing the glitch. He's gonna be the first person to stop the cash. And people are playing mediums only, and they don't have any option to do anything against us, simply because they have no shield, no bubble, no nothing to protect themselves from danger. That was a good glitch grenade, and even if they would take the cash out, we would still have the time to wipe them and retake it back. As a result, we were able to cook additional like $1,000, right, from stealing the cash out. It was a lot more fun doing that, but I would not recommend you to go for it. I'm constantly trying to keep my distance because MP5, which is in my hand, allows me to do so. It's very important not to force yourself close on light, because every single time you're getting close to these shotgun demons, you are just being cooked in the head. A proper play right here from me would already to go 3 and pace the cash out to C. But again, I'm playing with egoists in a team that are pulling the blanket in multiple directions, and it's not very fun to play around the objective where you can just go and deathmatch free for all, because again, we are just superior to all the golds and plat players that are playing in our lobby. So here we are going for a cash out D. We are a lot faster than our opponents. They just tapped the vault and it's halfway through, while we are already cashing it in. A proper way to defend a cash out like this in a multiple story building would be to play one below with C4s, and every single time opponents would approach the cash out and try to steal it, you would drop it one floor down. You can also drop one floor down and play one below again, and you can do that until there is no floors below, and you would have to confront your enemies. So by doing that, you can actually cook up some nice stagger on the cash out. As you can see, the lobby becomes staggered again, meaning that our cash out is already running, but opponents for some reason are fighting for the bowl of rice, pretty much for absolutely nothing. The 4 is not placed in C, and the only way to stabilize the lobby and make it like better paced is to double stack it, but it's gonna be a quite the risky business, and these players are pretty much signing their death sentence, because after our cash out is gonna be cooked, everyone is gonna be on the cash out C. I have no idea why did I place the teleport right here. Maybe I'm cooked in the head or something, but my team needs my help and I'm not there to help them, which is my bad. I should have teleported in the first place, and then we would have cooked like that. I'm looking and seeing that there are multiple teams, and my teammates are making the mistake by not playing one below, and it's very, very difficult. As you can see, I cannot approach from this angle. It's just very, very ugly. I was able to get the kill on the pin guy, but something tells me that we're just gonna lose this cash out no matter what. But unfortunately, enemies are busy chasing my medium, so I was able to res my heavy. It's just very, very strange. And yeah, so right here I'm throwing a glitch, beautiful glitch. I'm just gonna go in and stun this person, hook him quickly. He's gonna be absolute 1 HP. And like, as you can see, my teammate was able to 1v3 simply because they're playing bad composition. Right now, it is very important not to die. I understand that they have no time, and we have 33,000. So 2.5 minutes on the clock left on the cash outs, and it's incredibly important for us not to die, not to lose our life, because we will end up in a situation, if they place both cash outs, it can be extremely losable. So right now, the best thing we can do is we can go and defend 5 from going in, or we can just not wipe. One of our teammates is gonna anchor, meaning that he's gonna stay alive in some safe place where no one is gonna approach him, and yeah, we're just gonna cook like that. I TP'd my teammates. Did I TP them? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What we do here, we can just stay AFK, and it's pretty much gonna be unlosable in case they are taking 5 to A, which they are doing. Even if they go for 5 to A, we can still go for 6 and defend it, because 33,000 is more than enough for you to cook enemies. Notice how I'm looking at the tab and constantly thinking about which team should we get through, which team should we help. And the call to grieve is usually something like this: guys, don't shoot orange, we protect orange. We protect orange from other teams to take their cash. We do not shoot them, we are just shooting other teams. And this way, you will ensure that the weakest team is gonna end up in the next round with you, so you will be able to have an easier tournament overall. Notice how I am being slow, I'm approaching right here. I don't remember what the call was. Perhaps we are going for orange and trying to grief the other team. Here we are pudding. Very, very bad. I would not have done that. Honestly, this is terrible play what we are doing right now, and it's definitely not worth it. Again, we are winning not because we are making proper plays, we are winning because we are better, right? There is a big difference, and it's important for me not to die here, because again, I've already told you that it's gonna be very, very losable. Even though apparently it was a correct play, and after a slow reset, we will be able to cook up the point A and take the cash. If we would be able to wipe this pink team, we are gonna be Gucci. Notice how it's already 2v1, and then my heavy player is gonna res my medium, so it's only one light alive, and here I'm making a crucial mistake. 50 seconds left on the clock. I'm just looking, patiently waiting. Here I should have just taken the cash, right? I should have just baited the cash, waited for my teammates. Right here, boom, hold to steal, 2 seconds, and then you look for enemies to approach, because what happened is that we almost lost this game because of my terrible mistake, right? So it's all very ugly because we made macro mistakes, because we are not serious about the game at all, and sometimes it's gonna cost you your life. So instead of making it easy and just protecting 6 from going in, we end up in a situation where we had to fight 2 teams, which is far from being ideal, and we don't have any last word on the outcome of this game. We have no idea who's gonna go through, because we have no control over that. Pretty terrible game overall. It's important to make it a habit to always look at enemy abilities, what they are playing, what team compositions they are playing. We are playing against double medium, triple medium, and heavy medium light. In a lobby like this, it's gonna be very important to not rely on glitches, because they're gonna be pretty useless in a sense, because you will get a lot more value by just cooking enemies with your MP5. Again, I am absolutely not in time to cook the vault, simply because the Las Vegas does not allow you to do so. The new map is really good for that, because spawns are pretty terrible. I pre-glitched the team and we are going. Every single time I glitch someone, I am vocal about it, so my teammates can actually cook this up. I was thinking about going for a kill on, or excuse me, going for the res on my teammate, but failed because my heavy player wasn't able to sustain the damage that double medium heavy team is cooking on us. So they were better in this situation. We lost simply because the high ground advantage was on their side. If I were to start this fight all over again, I would not have started it at all. I would just paste the cash out, and that would have been pretty fine. But anyways, not a big problem. The first 10,000 does not mean anything in this game, and we are approaching point B. As you can see, we are going to be not the only team that's cooking. So in a situation like this, it's important to let the teams fight if you have the chance to do so, right? Because when you are applying pressure to the team on a roof, you are not applying pressure to the team that's holding the cash out. And then when you do so, it is gonna be very ugly and not gonna be worth it. Right, so what we do here, we are just standing AFK a little bit, and we want to approach from the edge. We want to approach from the direction in which opponents would not expect us, and we are not gonna be clenched. Here I'm gonna make a mistake. I am standing in the same direction where I standed before, and I made it pretty difficult for my teammates, because notice how we are looking at different targets. I am cooking orange, my teammates are cooking red, and that's just a lack of communication and a game plan for us. So the lobby became staggered, and it just turned out to be pretty terrible. So in a situation like this, honestly, I would just apply pressure to the team below, so the team above would feel comfortable with coming closer. Because again, if you are fighting for nothing at the top, the team at the bottom is just chilling. They are not wasting their ammo, they are not wasting their resources, they are not being forced out of positions of power, and overall it just becomes incredibly easy for them to cook up. Notice how the lobby is giga staggered, meaning that they already cashed in the B and we are just approaching A. Incredibly terrible. I'm starting late, I'm throwing some glitches, my teammates are already in, I'm not in a position to help them a lot, but they're gonna be absolutely fine, right, against a triple median team especially, right? So here we are cooking a guy. Notice how I'm making it very difficult for the opponent to hit me, especially with the revolver. Pretty terrible weapon. So right here we are going to be in a pretty bad situation. I would say that if you're playing double heavy medium, the initiative is always better than the staggered cash out, meaning that you can pretty much almost always defend the cash out against 3 other teams. But when you're playing heavy medium light, you will have only one chance to defend, and after that it's gonna become very ugly. I'm pre-placing the teleporter at the top to allow me to quickly interrupt any stealers. And right here we are cooking up the orange guy and leaving for the vault 3. As you can see, we are just very late for some reason. For like, our macro is definitely not on the point. My medium should help me a lot with speed when it comes to cash out placement. Like, it's totally my fault, because Even though my teammates can go in and apply pressure to enemy team, it is my responsibility to be an objective player. I just realized that, like, VOD review is so useful for you. Every single time you are doing that, you are learning something new about yourself. You are looking at your bad habits that you don't realize you have, but you actually have. Right here, we are, again, very late for Vault 3, and instead of just taking it for free, we are fighting against Purple. Purple has nothing to lose, we have everything to lose, so we want to just kite, we want to quickly take the cash, and go. Notice how I already have a teleporter, and yeah, I placed it, and we are going for the cash out D, it feels like. Another thing, when you are so much faster on the vault than your opponents, you will have the chance to choose better cash out, because some cash outs on the maps are impossible to steal. Impossible to steal. Hospital on Soul, some cash outs with multiple story buildings if you can properly play it. That is just like, it's incredibly difficult for enemies to do anything against you. It is just absolutely insane, right? So here I am just applying a little bit of pressure on enemies while my teammates are going for the cash. I have no idea what am I doing here. I got the lucky kill on a person and we are slowly going for C. This is definitely not how you're supposed to play light. This is a terrible example and a way for me to learn from my own mistakes. So next time I would not make them, right? So I had to be the person that's placing the cash out. I had to be the person that's using a teleporter for that, making it faster. Instead, I'm just throwing the game for my teammates. And it's not about me going for flashy kills and doing all of that. This is all BS and absolutely unnecessary. Only thing that matters is that if you won or lost the game. None of that matters if you are gonna lose the game, right? I'm pre-placing a teleporter on top, and the best way to play this is to play one below, right? So we're gonna go below. Actually, this balcony is pretty decent. We can always drop. We can always look at our enemies. My glitch grenades are gonna be very deadly on impact because enemies would have to go through narrow choke points. I am bored, it feels like. I don't know what I'm doing, just looking at the cash out D. This is terrible. Truly a horrible moment from me. I don't know what I'm doing here, just standing in the middle of nowhere, staring at the cash out D. I have teleport to get to my teammates, and I'm thinking that I'm doing something to grief like the orange team, and I guess I am doing because the orange team is the better team in the lobby. But then again, isn't it better to go from the top right? So my positioning is definitely not the best one, right? Like, I'm getting cooked by the guy here, completely out of position. He just punished me for the stupid mistake I made, and they just traded. Notice what happened, right? My teammates have to defend the cash out by themselves. My medium has to get out of position to res me, so all of that is just terrible. If I were to go back in time and rewind this moment, I would have went top right, I would have taken the ultimate height and just cooked them from here, quickly being safe and quickly rotating towards my teammates if I have the chance. Notice how I'm not making my medium player uncomfortable by coining, but I'm an idiot and I said it late, so he went in and died. It is your responsibility to res your teammates that made a positional mistake. You just yoink them from the farthest distance you can possibly yoink your teammates from, and then you res them like that. It's 1 minute left on the clock, and it is our responsibility to grieve the best team in the lobby. I think what the call was is that we want to play against the Katovsky guy, who is a streamer, and he was like the top 10 player, but now he's not playing the game, so we just wanted to have a final against him. Outside of that, I would have definitely went and probably helped Pink, because they're playing triple medium and it would be an easy final. But we definitely don't want an easy final. I just want to have some fun playing ranked, and if I have to get the stronger team in final, that would be better. So 30 seconds left on the clock. It's completely unlosable for us, even if they place 2 cash outs in. This is going to be unlosable, right? But we will not allow that, as well as, yeah, that's just gonna be a disaster. So orange team placed it like last second. This guy is just gonna die from cringe for that, and yeah. So as you can see, we are like showing bad manners, being completely cooked for it, running away. This was so funny. I had so much fun playing this game. It's actually crazy. But here we are slow resetting, we are giving up treason, and we are going at the top. It's very important to rotate to a position of power just to have advantage over your opponents. Here I'm making a mistake. Beautiful, like wow, beautiful one taps, one clips. This game I was in the zone, I was cooking everyone in my line of sight, right? So if I were to miss one bullet, I would have died and it would be terrible. So again, instead of applying pressure to orange, right? If you were to grief orange, instead of applying pressure to them, we are making a mistake and applying pressure to everyone, but not orange, making it incredibly difficult. Like right here, bro, just steal. Like if I were to grief orange, right? The last thing I want to do is to grief red doing that, and now they are just killing each other because of that. And then yeah, so instead of letting them, we just, yeah, they're just griefing each other and there is no time. Unlucky, unfortunate. So that's gonna be it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this video was somewhat educational. I'm gonna do a lot more videos like this. They are pretty easy to do. See you next time. Bye bye.